Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2024 and a video today that takes you through the tactics that I am using in my own Newcastle United series on the channel, but that I have also tested with a few other teams, and every single time I test it there is over 100 goals every single season. Now that is usually with one of the better teams in whatever league I'm taking a look at, and today we're going to go into depth with using it with Real Madrid. It's very well suited to teams at the top end of the table. I haven't done too much testing with teams towards the bottom, but my intuition would suggest it's maybe less well suited to that unless you've got the right kind of players to fit the system. But the tactic that we are using is GYR's 4-3-3 Dynamite. It's from FM23, but it seems to just work extremely well. In my Newcastle United series, I am top of the league, and I am beating the likes of Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, looking to get out of that Champions League group, and also went on a 10-match winning streak, including beating teams like Manchester City and Arsenal. So it's worked out extremely well so far for me. I've also tested it with Manchester United and Real Madrid, both times over 100 goals per season. Very high win rates as well. We'll have a look at Real Madrid's fixtures in a moment. But you can see that it's a tactic that's well suited to the way most clubs structure their playing staff as well. Flat back four, but with a wing back on one side, and then we have the three in central midfield with a defensive midfielder to add to the defensive stability of the unit, and then up front you have an inside forward, an inverted winger, and an advanced forward to get the goals. It's very much around gegenpress style, very high press. It helps if you've got fit and healthy players that you can have running up and down. Good to bring fresh legs off the bench on the wings and in the full-back positions in particular. Sometimes midfielders can get overloaded with their work rates as well, so you do tend to have to use all 5 substitutions in most games, but the results definitely speak for themselves. So if we have a look at the results from this Real Madrid test season, you can see a nice 16-0 win at the start with a double hat-trick for Federico Valverde. I don't know if he's ever done that in his career before. And then also a victory over Manchester United in pre-season. But the season started off reasonably well with a couple of big wins and then a surprise defeat to Real Sociedad. There was a victory over PSG in the Champions League as well. More wins in the Champions League, and then a 1-0 win against Barcelona away from home. Draws in the Champions League, but enough to get out of the group. You can see high scoring games. There's always a lot of goals. A 6-1 over Atletico Madrid there. Several 4-0 wins, including in the Super Cup final. Did lose to Barcelona in the Super Cup final and to Villarreal, but then came back with even more victories, getting through in the Champions League to the quarterfinals and into the semi-finals. A 3-1 win over Barcelona in the Spanish Cup. Unfortunately going out on penalties in a very long penalty shootout that went down to the goalkeepers, Donnarumma scoring and Kepa missing. But if we have a look at that first division table, you can see that there were 117 goals scored. Won the league with 96 points, 15 points clear of Barcelona. And I know that in the beta, it is always difficult to find a tactic that works, but this also worked with Manchester United, where we got over 100 goals and won the league. And it is working in my active Let's Play series with Newcastle United. So I vouch for this tactic myself. And if you are struggling with the tactics of the new game in the beta, do make sure that you have a look at this one and how it works. Now you can see that for each of the players here, you can pause the screen and put them in their defensive roles, put them in the right support functions. You can see advanced forward attack, but then here we have an inside forward in support. They have individual instructions as well, which you can see on the screen. So I will just quickly click through these and you can take a look. I'll also put a link to the tactic in the description. But if you aren't able to make that download work, then do just have a look at the individual player instructions coming up on the screen and make a quick note when you pause the video of each one. And that's the last one. Now looking at the mentalities, usually it's on attacking. I tend to slip into counter around the 60-70 minute mark, depending on how well it's going, or if we're just being overloaded early in a match. and I'll usually try and close it out with defensive. Very defensive never seems to work for me. The in possession screen looks like this. It's very gegenpress. In transition, again, feel free to pause if you need to replicate this yourself. And then out of possession, you can see once more here. And that is the GYR 433 Dynamite from FM23, which seems to be working extremely well of the beta of FM24. If you did enjoy this video, drop a like down below. Let me know in the comments any tactics that you're using that are working really well. And make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. But until next time, see ya.